Hey guys, this is Joseph with EasySMMA.com and JosephShields.co. I have something really cool to talk about today. I ended up joining this thing, and this isn't a sales video at all, but I ended up joining the Clickfunnels, the One Funnel Away Challenge, and I'm learning so much awesome stuff about how you learn and how you market and how all these pieces go together. And so I want to share it with you, and that's what we're going to do in this video. So let's get started. Okay, so here's the thing. To start off, again, I'm not selling ClickFunnels. I actually use WordPress for most of my websites, and I think that's the best way for most people to go. But if you've hung out at all and checked out like the ClickFunnels people like Russell Brunson and Steve Larson and their guys, they have some of the most amazing marketing. Like, it's just some of the best marketing. Like, Russell Brunson literally got on stage at this one conference, and in 90 minutes he sold $3 million worth of his services and products, which is like insane, right? So anyway, I was like, I need to learn from these guys, because I've been learning a lot, and I've been in digital marketing for like over 3 years now, and I do well. I have a 6-figure income. Like, it's not like I'm failing or anything, but I was like, I feel like there's this stuff I need to know. I feel like I'm kind of running dry in my well. And so I was like, all right, well, they have this challenge. I actually signed up for my ClickFunnels 14-day trial, and they give everyone a free trial. It's pretty easy to do. But I didn't really care about using the software, even though the software is cool and everything. What I cared about was getting the training. I wanted to learn what was inside there in their trainings. So I went in, I signed up for the highest level thing, which is like $300 a month, but I did it on the 2-week trial. And then I'm talking to this one sales guy, and he's like, well, you know what? If you do the One Funnel Away Challenge, then I'm going to extend your free trial another 30 days. And so I'll have 45 days of just being able to use this free and do all the trainings. And I was like, that's cool. I want to do that. I'm going to check that out. And the One Funnel Away Challenge was like $100, which for me isn't a big deal. I know for some people it is, but for where I'm at, I'm doing pretty well, so I'm not too worried about that. All right, but here's the thing, is I was kind of like struggling, like, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? And the challenge was, and maybe you can relate to this, is like, in this world of doing digital marketing or web design or SEO, there are so many courses and videos and free PDFs and ebooks and all of this stuff. And it's like, it's exhausting. And Facebook groups and Instagram channels. And it's like, if you try to like follow all this stuff, there's like too many inputs. And that's kind of where I was getting. I'm like, I feel like I'm getting information from all these millions of sources, and it's like too much. And then I'm dropping 95% of it because I can't even retain it. And the other 5% I barely have time to act on because it's just too much and everyone's saying different things. And I was kind of going nuts. So I was like, do I really want to do this? Because I don't really need another input. But I'm glad I did, and I'll tell you why. And I'm going to talk about kind of courses in general and challenges in general a little bit here. But the thing is, like I said, it gets really confusing if you're in like the YouTube self-education world. And thank you for watching my YouTube. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like my video. But it's also, it can be hard because I'm giving you one piece now, and there will be another piece later, and then someone else is giving you another piece. And it's like, how do you put it all together into a system that works? Because that's one of the things you have to understand about learning, about business, about being successful, about growing in your devotional life, if you're a person of faith, in growing in your relationships and having better health in your body, is that it's not piecemeal. There's systems for doing a lot of things. And if someone has reached a certain goal, there's probably a step-by-step way they did it. And if you can follow that same process, it will work for you. And you want to follow it as closely as you can. Now, there might be things you change just because your personality is different, your temperament is different, your goals are different, what you care about and love and are passionate about is different. But for the most part, there's going to be like, there's a process, there's a path to get where you want to go. And it's hard when you piecemeal it. That's why, like, if you go to my website, the EasySMMA.com website, I created it for people who have agencies who just want to know how to build a website. And it's totally free. There's just tutorials on there. And it's like 6 tutorials, and they're pretty long. And you go on there and you're watching them, and then you're learning step by step how to set up your agency website. So in about 2.5 hours, you can have your website done. And all you had, I don't charge anything for that. It's totally free. So you paid for web hosting and you paid to get a domain. So maybe that's like $60 or $80 or something. It wasn't that much money. And then you're just good to go, but it goes step by step by step through a process. And that's a much easier way to learn than pulling stuff everywhere. And so when I was going to this challenge, I was like, I'm really kind of like, I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of courses. I don't know how much I want to go through another course. But I was just like, these guys are the best. I'm just going to get into it and do what they say to do. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I would totally encourage people to do it, even if you don't want to use Clickfunnels as a software, though they are going to sell you pretty hard on Clickfunnels if you're in there, because, that's what they do. They believe in it, and I respect that. But yeah, so I go in there, and then it's like the first week is just like what they call pre-training. It's not even the official first week of a challenge. And the pre-training is just knocking out your negative beliefs and limiting beliefs. Because the thing is, if you don't believe you can do something, then you're right. You can't do it. And so you probably had this, like in my business at the start, it was like, I didn't really believe I could make certain amounts of money. I didn't know if I could do things. Maybe you can relate to this. And so then because I don't believe I can, then I couldn't. And it actually took me working with this one guy and having a coaching session. And then he was like, no, you could charge like triple what you're charging. And then the next time I built a website for someone, I tripled my price and they paid it. And the next website after that, I tripled it again and they paid that, which means it was like, 9-10 times what I was charging initially. And people just paid it. And I was like, oh, I can just do this. But it was a belief thing. It wasn't a skill thing. And so they're like, you have to believe that you can make money quickly. You have to believe you can act fast. You have to believe you can be successful. And the whole thing is just about beating all of those negative and limiting beliefs out of you so that you can even do the challenge, which is kind of awesome because I talk to guys all the time who aren't succeeding. And I was coaching this one guy. I don't really do students, right? But I had this one guy, and he was a friend of a friend, and he was trying to do web design business so he could like move out of his parents' home and like start to like have a real life. And I did some sessions with him, and then I gave him very clearly, this is what you do first, this is what you do, I need you to get a client, this is how you're going to get your client. And then I kind of gave him his pathway to freedom and not living at mom's house and like having his own life. And in the second week, he had barely done anything I gave him. And I was looking at him and I was like, what's up? And I gave him, really kind of try to drive it in, like, you have to do these things. And then got pretty intense. And then the next week, he still had done like maybe like 5% of what I had asked him to do. And what I was telling him to do was not something he could not do. It was something he could have done by noon every day. And I just realized, he's not in the mindset to be able to do this. He kind of actually wants to be depressed, and he actually kind of wants to be where he is at. And if he doesn't change that, then I can't help him. So it's kind of an issue. And I got my notes here, so that's why I'm floating in and out a little bit here. But so the thing is that was the first piece, and then we started talking about offers, and this was such cool stuff about offers, because the whole thing is we're starting with the offer and then building backwards. So what are we actually going to sell? And most people don't think that way. Most people set up all of this stuff, and it's like, no, let's get right into what our offer is. And here's something I want to share about that, and I'll do a whole video on this at some point, but when you're creating these offers, you really have to stack a ton of value. Like for instance, one of the things that I do is I use a certain web host for all my WordPress sites, and they're called A2 Hosting. I used to use another company, but now I use A2 Hosting. And I love them. I think they're really good, they're fast, the tech support's very helpful and friendly, and they're really inexpensive. Anyway, I love these guys. And so I will direct people towards using that hosting. And if they do use it, then I get some affiliate income off of that. And so if you've ever bought through one of my links, thank you, because it actually helps me out a lot and helps me actually make content for you. But so if someone buys through that, I was like, okay, well, they could just get hosting. And that's okay. I mean, it's good. It's the best hosting that you can get for the price range. So that's awesome. But the thing is that it's like that offer really isn't that juicy to people. And so this is what I'm doing now is I'm like, okay, well, if you go through my link, then what I'm going to give you is I'm going to also give you this video course that I created. And it's a really cool video course. It's on SEO. It's called SEO Foundations, the exact blueprint for your first 3 months with a new client. I know it's kind of a lot of words, but essentially what it is people who are doing digital marketing, a lot of times they really suck at SEO, or they don't even know what it is, and it seems like a very confusing science. And so what I did is I created a video course, and it just comes for free. Like, what if you get the hosting, you send me your receipt, and then I send you a link to the course. But in it, I'm like, okay, here's what you do in month 1. Here's what you do in month 2 with a client. Here's what you do in month 3 with a client. And then after that, here's what you do. And then I'm like, okay, well, if someone can get through their first 3 months of serving a client and doing SEO stuff, they're going to be able to figure out months 4 through 12. They just need to get those first 3 months down to really understand what they're doing. And so I'm like, this is a huge value add. Like, this is easily a $200 course. Okay, and so I just put that in there for free. Send me your receipt, I send you a link to the course. And then I'm like, here's my top 10 WordPress plugins that you have to have if you're using WordPress, which are going to save you a ton of time and make your life a lot easier. So that's just thrown in there. And then also here is an interview I did, and it's almost an hour long, where I was talking with this one freelance journalist just about digital marketing, why businesses need it, how to sell it to them, what place it has in the community, like how to work with difficult business owners. Like, we got into a lot of stuff, and it was a jam-packed hour interview. And I'm like, you get that for free. So now someone's not just getting web hosting, they're getting web hosting plus a free video course, which is awesome, plus the top 10 plugins they're going to need. Awesome. And then also this interview where if they just listen to that, they're going to get so much insight from someone who's done this. And I'm not talking in a fluffy language. I'm just talking like a normal person with this other guy. And I'm like, that's really cool. So that's a ton of value. And at that point, that's kind of irresistible. Like, why would you possibly get web hosting through anyone but me? Because no one else is giving you all these freebies. Everyone else is you're just getting the link to the hosting company. But I'm going to give you like an extra $400 worth of good stuff. So it's kind of cool, right? So that's the thing about the offer, is like stacking and stacking and stacking until it's irresistible. You know, they talk about like the ShamWow commercial where it's like, not only do you get one ShamWow, but we'll give you 4, and we'll give you the ShamWow mop, and we'll give you the carrying case, and we'll massage your dog. And it's like, at some point, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll spend $20 to get all of that. I think the hosting is like $50-$60 if you get it through my link. So anyway, it makes it kind of irresistible, right? Other things about the challenge, because I'll do more videos on that kind of stuff later, but the thing about the challenge is there's also a time constraint. Like, within 30 days, you have to do the whole thing. They're only with you for 30 days. So in that, you have to create your product, you have to create your offer, you have to do your stories, you have to do your videos, you have to build your funnels out, you need to start running traffic to it. You're going to have to do all of that within 30 days. I had this one guy, and this is kind of crazy, but he had messaged me on Facebook, because sometimes people message me on Facebook and they're like, hey, can you help me with this or that? And sometimes I don't see them because they're not my friends, and so it goes into that other queue of messages. And so I found it, and it was like from 6 months ago. And so I just reached out to the guy, and I was like, hey man, I'm sorry I missed your message. Like, did you need something? Like, how is it going? Because he was saying like, I'm having trouble starting my agency up. And I was like, all right, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, how's it going now? Do you have it started now, 6 months later? And he wrote me back. He's like, no, man, I still haven't been able to get it started up yet. And I was like, you're freaking kidding me. 6 months, you haven't done anything? So in this challenge, it's like you have 30 days to do everything. And you have people yelling at you every day, and you're in this Facebook group where you have an accountability group. This is why masterminds and accountability groups work. And like, I used to be in a men's group, and I'm not anymore, but I'm in a church where people hold me very accountable. And that's why they work, is because you have to do things, because you're telling people, this is what I said I'm going to accomplish. And then if you don't do it, then people are like, you suck. You said you were going to do this. Why didn't you do it? And so having that kind of group is really important. And I encourage you to create that in your life. Tell your other people or other digital marketers, or get like friends who are in the community, and hold yourselves accountable and have consequences. You know, if I don't get 2 new clients by the end of a month, I'm taking you out to whatever steakhouse you want to go to. And I know I can't afford that, so I better get those damn clients for myself, you know? But do things where you have consequences and you're held accountable. Make yourself accomplish a certain amount of things by 10:30 in the morning, by noon, by 2 in the afternoon. Make yourself do stuff like that. And that's one of the cool things that I got out of this challenge is I'm like, I only have 30 days. I have to make it happen. Otherwise, I just wasted $100 and I'm an idiot. So it's pretty cool. The other thing is just there's this energy of working with masters in the craft because they get you so excited and so pumped up all the time. And I really love that. And so, what's one other thing is, just that you start by acting. In the challenge, it's all about action. So it's not like you're going to get yourself all ready to do it and then 6 months later you're going to do something. No, you do the thing in week 1. In week 1, your whole offer is already constructed. And then next week you're building your story and next week you're building other stuff. But you're going through it so fast. Instead of being ready, aim, fire, it's like fire. And then, ready, aim, or whatever the next 2 are. But it starts with fire, not starting with ready. Because no one's ever ready. That's the 6-month guy. He's still not ready. It sucks. And I feel kind of bad for him. And if you're watching this, message me because I do want to help you get out of that rut because I think that really sucks. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to stop there because this video is getting long, but I'm super pumped. I hope you got some value out of this. Please subscribe to this channel, like the video, give me the thumbs up, hit the notification bell if you got value out of this. And if you are someone who's trying to set up your first website, if you're an agency owner or anything else, go to easysmma.com and just check out the videos. It's all there, and that hosting thing that I mentioned, it's there too. You don't have to buy it through my link, but at least learn who the right host is and then go get from them because they'll be able to help you out more. But I got tons more value coming for you in the next few weeks, and I'm going to be publishing a lot. So if there's something you want to know about, leave it in the comments, and I'll definitely try to hook you up. Okay, guys, have a good one. I'll talk to you later.